So the third GOP debate has come and gone. The knives were out.
Yes.
Trump wasn't there, of course. He did another Look at Me rally down in Florida, I believe. And the whole thing is overall pretty sad. Well, first, welcome back. My name is Jeremy Baker. As always, with me is Mike Felino here to break this down. Now, I think one of the things, Mike, this proved to me is that the Republicans have no backup plan. They have everything invested in Trump. Nobody intends on breaking away from Trump. He has won over the cult. And these guys are basically just fighting for second place at this point.
Yeah, but I don't even know if that's what they're fighting for, because it appears as if they're vying for the VP slot. But if anything, Trump isn't going to pick someone that's running against him. He's going to, I hate to say this, learn from what didn't work for him last time, and he's going to get people that are way more MAGA, way more Trumpy. He's not going to pick his VP candidate from any. What is he going to pick? Chris Christie if Chris Christie wins the? Stop. He's not going to pick any. He's going to pick Marjorie Taylor Greene. He said the other day he might pick Tucker Carlson. So
yeah, that's insane, man.
But to your point, this debate, these series of debates, I don't know who they're fooling, because the Republican voters know, the ones that aren't MAGA, the ones that are like somewhat not MAGA, are like, well, we know Trump's going to be the nominee. So who are these debates trying to convince of anything? Every person that's going to vote on a Republican ticket in 2024 is going to cast their vote for Donald Trump. So I don't know.
Exactly. So speaking of the debate, one of the first questions they were asked, or I believe it was the first question, and Vivek Ramaswamy didn't answer. He just kind of attacked the moderator. But one of the questions that were asked was, why would you be, why should you be president, basically? So let's watch this disaster.
Let's do it.
A lot different than we were in 2016. And Donald Trump's a lot different guy than he was in 2016. He owes it to you to be on this stage and explain why he should get another chance.
These problems are so big and serious that the first thing I would say to Prime Minister Netanyahu is pretty simple. America is here, no matter what it is you need at any time, to preserve the state of Israel.
Do you want a leader from a different generation who's going to put this country first?
So abrasive.
Or do you want Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels?
That's so misogynist.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, Putin and President Xi are salivating at the thought that someone like that could become president. They would love to see.
The fact of the matter is she doesn't
I mean, I hate Nikki Haley, but she's actually the best out of all of them at being a politician.
So you might want to take
She
care of
is.
your family first.
She's
Leave
such
my
a.
daughter out of your voice.
Adult daughter. The next generation.
That's true.
I don't know how to wait. I call her like a cardboard politician. Like, she just reminds me of this.
She is
pre-made, like if you said Republican, print me out a female Republican. That's what I would picture.
Well, but the problem is we haven't had that cookie cutter archetype since Trump, right? Look, I can't believe we're about to pick which of the Trumpy candidates are better. But if we're gonna talk about the women representing the Republican Party, a Nikki Haley, as much as I hate to say this because I believe in nothing she says, and she also is so embarrassed about her own heritage that she's changing her first name for votes.
She uses the white part of her name, and leaves the rest of it out.
She is at least the one that knows how to carry herself. I'm not saying how a woman should carry herself, because women don't have to answer to me. She knows how to carry herself as somewhat of a human, to at least have the appearance of being a human, whereas a Marjorie Taylor Greene, a Lauren Boebert, a what's the lunatic out in Arizona, that
Carrie Lake,
like, they're not, those aren't real people. They're exaggerations of assholes that the Republican Party has distilled and created. But Nikki Haley, before Trump, man, she had a shot. If you take Trump out of it, Nikki Haley had a shot to win a Republican seat at the table. But nowadays, any of that polish is going unheard, because no one that would vote for her is going to vote for the Republican Party, knowing what they have become. So I don't know.
Exactly. I mean, they're going to lose on one topic and one topic alone, is abortion. their extreme
That's true.
stances on abortion. DeSantis is already out.
And they're doubling down on it.
In the last election, even though it was just a local election and in a few states, we saw that people overwhelmingly support some type of abortion rights.
Wait,
And
so,
like I said before, the only opinion a man should have on abortion is we support the woman's right to do whatever she wants.
Done.
That's literally what the man's position should be on abortion.
You had a Rick Santorum who comes out of the woodworks every election to make a few bucks as a talking head. And he said the loud part aloud. And I know I'm saying that wrong, but they're already so loud in their positions and he's just screaming the shittiness louder. And what I mean is he was talking about Ohio and on the ballot there, they not only enshrined abortion in their constitution overwhelmingly, they also legalized adult use recreational cannabis. And Rick Santorum's answer was, wow, you know, when you give voters sexy topics, this is why a straight democracy isn't good. We shouldn't be putting the vote to the people.
We have Republicans now, yes, that are saying that democracy is bad. The people voting is not a good idea because the people don't know what they're doing. So we shouldn't allow them to vote.
Yeah, we know what you want. We know what you need.
In the actual, who calls abortion a sexy topic?
Republicans who think everything is about grifting people's votes. That tells you right there. Oh, they're luring them with this. Everyone can have an abortion, as if there's abortion parties and people are like, I'll kill your baby. Like they think these things are happening. They don't understand the reality of what abortion is, about what healthcare is, and fundamentally that women have rights to their body. They think this is just a selling point. Oh, get high and kill babies. Democrats love that. Like,
oh my God. And then Donald Trump goes on rallies and says that women are having an abortion in the 10th month. I'm not misspeaking, okay? Donald Trump thinks that women have abortion in the 10th month. For fuck's sake, people. Like, how can you...
Yeah, because Donald Trump was going to those Lamaze classes with Melania when she was pregnant. Or like Donald Trump, I don't even think Donald Trump knows how babies are born. Like, because he's such a... He's such a
come out of the butt.
Well, he is a official sexual assaulter, rapist, and we know his history with how he talks about women, how he talks about his daughter. We know how Donald Trump looks at women and sex. I don't know that he understands that pregnancy results from sex. I think that when he thinks if he has sex with women, it just somehow makes him cooler. But whatever. If we're gonna lay off Donald Trump for a moment.
But the guy,
if you look back at
disgusting pig, though.
Exactly, and that's why he doesn't have to go to these debates, right? No. What kind of debate doesn't have the front runner? Well, one where he knows who he has locked up. He has the degenerates of the Republican Party. He has the people that are the misogynists, the bigots, the racists, the assholes. So he and his disgusting behavior has already swayed the vote. Again, I don't know what these debates are for, other than some ad revenue, because a Nikki Haley is not going to win and become the president at all. It's just not going to happen.
We have seen, and we talk about this a lot, these people cannot be reasoned with. Even if Donald Trump went to the debate and they called him out on everything,
which they wouldn't.
Even if they wouldn't, just straight up attacked him on your horrible, like, here's the list, you know what I mean?
They don't have the balls to do it.
3,000 pages long. They would do it, and Trump would not lose a single bit of support.
No, he would gain voters because
exactly.
He would do his shit bargain basement deflection, and his voters would be like, "That's a compelling argument right there."
All right, so let me oh boy. All right, let me play the second. We're gonna get into Trump's crazy ass rally. This Look at Me rally. So, all right, next clip from the debate.
Is ban TikTok, period. Now, we saw under former President Trump, he tried to ban TikTok twice, but was struck down by our federal courts.
This is the shit they're talking about.
Exactly. Who gives a shit?
They're not talking about jobs.
On the app.
We should be arming Taiwan. Make sure they have the equipment they need.
Okay.
Let's do that.
I'm just going to pause it there real quick and just point out to everybody that arming Taiwan, China would see as a show of aggression, a show of...
a direct show of force. Well, we seem to be having some technical difficulties. I think what Jeremy was saying was any sort of troop buildup, any weapons supply to Taiwan, anything other than just the standalone political, yes, we respect Taiwan, any actual military buildup would be a direct show of force, especially in a time when our relations with China are actually improving. There's meetings going on with multiple levels of our elected officials and their people. We are building a relationship, and it is something that the right cannot comprehend. But what were you going to say before our little glitch?
No, you kind of finished it for me. Yeah, sorry about the technical issues. I live kind of in the rural area, so my internet is complete shit. So anyway, let's try and forge ahead and play the rest of this video.
Let's do it.
Training they need now. There's nothing China fears more than knowing that America will have Taiwan.
Fear. Why is it always about fear? They don't fear
America's energy potential. On day one, I'm taking all the Biden regulations, the Green New Deal, ripping it up and throwing it in the trash can where it belongs.
We are already overtaxed in this country, and we should not raise those taxes.
And I think we can get to 3, 4, maybe even 5% GDP
this guy
growth
is
if
trying
we really
so hard to be a
the regulatory shackles
politician
off of our economy. And
right, he wants to take the regulations off of the economy, which
so that
would lead
trickle
to
down economy.
Fallout.
Right.
I mean, not just that; it would lead to another bank crash. The guy knows nothing about how this stuff works.
Through those severe measures, including sacrificing the foreign wars that many bloodthirsty members of both parties have a hunger for.
All right, he's at least right about that. But
yeah, so yeah, basically, in the election showed that. I mean, a lot of even Republicans are saying on the debate. They even say that Republicans are losers, and then even Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is on Biden. Oh, this is the Biden Harris HQ post. Yeah, there was they do an interview, and she pretty much said, "Oh yeah, we fail, we suck, we're losers." And I got this off of Truth Social, by the way.
What's really creepy is the night of the election on Tuesday and then the day after, it wasn't just the Republicans themselves. It's one of those moments where you actually saw their right-wing media outlets openly saying who they wish should be winning. What I mean by that is I think it was a Newsmax guy, and he was talking about, are we doing something wrong? What do we have to do? I thought you were a journalist. I thought you were a news network. So you just blatantly... That's just funny to me that everyone at every level of this right-wing mechanism has thrown off the shroud and is openly just trying to get people to vote for fascism. But they know that something's wrong, but they don't know what it is. Like they are so close and they don't understand.
So
right? Rick Santorum said it. It's the people voting that we can't allow because the people are telling you what they want. For example, even if every single American was voting in a representational democracy to legalize marijuana, which is happening now in 24 states across this country. And by the way, more than half the American citizens now live in legal recreational marijuana situations, by the way. If the entire country wants that, then that's what the entire country gets. Because that's just how, and by the way, that isn't happening on direct.
It's called democracy.
Yeah, that's not even just happening on direct ballot initiatives. That's happening through all different forms of elections. So to say that it's just direct democracy, yeah, we don't have a direct democracy. And you know what? What happens with those? We get idiocracy, actually. So a direct democracy isn't always the best way, but our system is showing that the people want abortion rights. The people want marriage equality. People are for trans rights. People are for, libraries existing. But the election is telling you that everyone in this debate was like, well, the people said this, but they're wrong. The people don't know what they want here. We can't let the people have this. No one wants TikTok. Like, they're not talking about how they're going to help everyone. They're continuously telling people what they don't need in their lives. And that's the Republican Party in the essence.
Right. Banning TikTok is not going to improve anybody's life. I mean, I get it, though. TikTok does, the algorithms tend to target the youth, the AI.
So does every, like Instagram doesn't? No, and Facebook doesn't target old people. So
exactly. That's the whole point, though. Like that's how it works. It's social media.
What social media, that's what
whatever. But anyway, so Donald Trump is MIA and does this rally is insane. So I put a clip together. Thanks to Midas Touch for the coverage.
This is bad. He's
I
dumb.
cut together some, and the opener, I believe, is Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who is currently in a lot of controversy of her own. So let's play that first.
The truth is, it's not even a question anymore between right and
hilarious
left.
to me.
Yeah.
It is normal versus crazy, and the
Do you want to tell me? Do you want to tell her? Or do you want me to tell her? She's on the
left
wrong
is
side.
doubling
Again, they're
down
so
on
close.
crazy.
We all fed up with the deep state bullshit.
Yeah, this is
Could
a
you
presidential
pause for 1
campaign.
second?
Whoops, sorry about that. Yep, I can pause right there.
All right, I'm going to make this as short as possible. Growing up, my family watched the show Roseanne, and I will fight to the death that show was a great show at the time. It actually did two things that almost no show in history has ever shown. It showed working class people struggling and staying together as a family the best they can, and it showed their kids getting disciplined. Whenever those kids got out of line, the parents punished them. They tried to whatever. So back in the day, while she might have still always been a lunatic, there was something good that came out of her, okay? But at the same time, the Republicans went crazy when she sang the national anthem at a baseball game and grabbed her crotch, as baseball players do, to adjust their cup and spit while she was singing the national anthem. They got so out of bent, and those are the same people now that are on Facebook listening to their aunts and uncles argue about America and trying to make Roseanne this hero of the right wing when they hated her 20 years ago. They hated her 30 years ago, and now they love her because she just shows the same hate that they want. That's it.
People have been programmed, like we keep saying.
That's all I got. The hypocrisy is so ridiculous. It burns me alive.
Okay. So
anyway,
there's more, though.
Sorry.
It gets worse. It gets worse.
It does get worse. Deep state bullshit.
Oh my God. People pay to go to these things?
And what did you say about Roseanne earlier before the show?
We want Trump, the Magador.
She's a Holocaust denying Jewish person.
Hey, stand up if you're ultra mega! Ultra mega!
Just so you guys see what these people do.
You're telling me this isn't a cult?
Member of the Orange Mafia!
How is this not a cult? They're not chanting freedom. They're not chanting get out the vote. They're not chanting all lives matter, which is funny because you would think they would try and use their own bullshit slogans. But what are they doing? All of their cheerleaders, which is what these pre-campaign events are, these before Donald Trump slurms out on stage like a weird thing, they're all just cheerleading these phrases for the brand. We're ultra MAGA, deep state bullshit. These are all like the core nonsense things that they rally around, these talking points that when you see them in interviews by the good liars and other people that just confront them on their idiocy, when they get asked a legitimate, simple question, they just come up with, we got to make America great again. The deep state's going to get us some George Soros.
I know.
But that's
it's the dog whistle words. They know what words to use for their base. Now, the reason it's got to be a cult because Donald Trump is leading by far, and he hasn't attended one single goddamn debate, and it is driving me insane.
It's fascinating because he would get, as much as it wouldn't affect the votes, his cognitive decline is so obvious, and you definitely see it in some of the videos you have later.
Oh, yeah.
That it would be, like, he might actually, there might be a chance where if he was at an actual debate, he maybe might lose 1 or 2 votes, only because he's incapable of putting up a fight anymore. I mean, he just looks like an absolute clown.
In the local elections, like anytime, they keep saying they've lost every election like the last 5-6 years.
Yes.
For the most part, local and midterm and otherwise. And Donald Trump is toxic. He's nuclear waste, and these people will not abandon him no matter what. So, all right, now keep in mind that video we showed you was of campaign rallies, like presidential, like this is insane. Yeah. And then we had Don Jr.,
oh God,
is one of my favorite people to make fun of because the guy
Cookie McDeluxe.
Yeah, let's go ahead and play that.
They do a better job of this than me, sir. But
I still think he talks like a 1920s gangster. Like, man, see,
see you guy over there. See,
think of the people right now in the last couple months who've been sentenced to 20 years in jail for peacefully protesting.
Oh, is that why they were sentenced to jail?
Meanwhile, I'm watching.
Yeah, that's right, people. He said they're being persecuted for peacefully protesting their way through windows.
And the best part is, most of them that are taking plea deals or getting sentenced in court, they're like, yeah, Donald Trump, he told us to do this. Like, they're actually admitting it.
Lost. And Donald Trump is talking about releasing these maniacs.
Political prisoners, as he calls them.
Right. These are the core nuts of this tree. Woo. Let's play the rest of it.
Semites chanting for genocide.
Just to pause there, he's saying, he's talking about pro-Palestinian people.
Yes.
And for some reason, they cannot distinguish Hamas from Palestine. I don't understand.
I think they can if they wanted to.
Universities,
but it's easier to just have a group date.
At this point,
because they're not one and the same. You know what I mean?
Nope.
They can do that again.
Well, they also think all Muslims belong to Al Qaeda. So
prior to them becoming the next deity, right? The left has deities. It went from climate change, led by Lord Priestess Greta Thunberg.
It is funny though,
on the right. Look at the pillow ad.
Led by
but they actually believe that everything is a religion. So they're the type of people who have repeatedly said that atheism is a religion. Okay. Atheism means no religion. That's literally what the word means. Now, I don't expect these people who could barely read to even understand how to break down a word, but they think everything is a religion because if you look at it in a broader context, they think everything is a belief. Okay. I base what I believe, but belief is a loose concept on things that I can see are verifiable. If it is discerned through science, I can understand it. If it could be repeated, testable, if it could hold a theory, if it could hold up under scrutiny, that's not a religion. That's not a belief. Those are facts. So they think that anything that has to do with a movement, whether it be, we're trying to be green. Well, that's not beliefs. I could see how things are infecting the environment. I could look at data and extrapolate data. I could make sense of it. That's not a religion. They think Dr. Fauci was a priest of the COVID religion. No, he's a doctor.
Yeah, right. But they've completely brainwashed a massive amount of Americans.
But that's cheerleading.
This is them. This is before their father even comes on stage, and I'm not going to play any more of that because that rally's insane and it's stupid. It's just dumb that this is what we've come to as a country.
That's a political rally.
We have politicians making direct threats against democracy, saying the people should not be allowed to vote. That's too much power for the people.
Yeah, can't let the people vote.
What? This is democracy. These people don't want a democracy. They are starting to see that their way of life is dying, and they are holding on with every last grass, with everything they can to try and keep this bigoted biblical reality going. And we're dealing with people that see that things in the Bible have been disproven by science and 2,000 years of history, but they choose to refute the fact and continue to believe the Bible.
Yep.
Do you understand what I mean? Like, I understand faith. I believe in God. I'm a deist, so I look at things differently. But to believe everything in there happened and to believe everything that Donald Trump says is true, it kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? We believe that they believe things that aren't real. So, but it's just gone to the whole nother level. But I actually have a clip of Donald Trump speaking. I think this is in Texas. Talking about how he discovered the term caravans. He made that term up now. Don't forget.
Listen to the
first person to ever just figure out that U and S spells us. Remember that.
That's true.
He discovered that a couple weeks ago. So
I'm so happy he figured that out like a week ago. Yeah, I never would have put that together.
Right, and I'm making fun of this like this, and I'm being sarcastic because it's absolutely fucking stupid that people support this.
Just watch the grift
absolutely
happen.
Brilliant
Listen.
presidency, but we're going to do things immediately within 24 hours. We're going to stop the invasion of our southern and, by the way, our northern border, which is not.
Oh no, either. Canada is now an enemy of America.
They're bringing in illegal maple syrup.
Great people like Brandon Judd, Border Patrol, the people at ICE, Tom Holman, who's fantastic, Central Casting. We have great. They'll do it within 48 hours.
Here we go.
Just listen.
Like the caravan I told you that's on its way up. They wouldn't have caravan. They had caravans. When I came up with the name, I believe that's it wasn't really.
They didn't exist. We had them when I was. Oh shit! I can't say that. I made up the word caravan. I made up the word caravan. Did you know caravan and car have CAR in it, and van and caravan have VA in it? Are they cars and vans of people?
But that doesn't even make that doesn't even make sense. And people are like, yeah. And no, there is no caravan of illegal immigrants coming across.
I'm going to change the phrase where he said he could stand in, Times Square in middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot people and he would get elected.
Yeah.
He could stand at a rally, shit in his hand, and throw it on the crowd, and they'd still vote for him.
He would. I always say it. If Donald Trump farted in a bottle, labeled it, and put it on True Social, there would be people out there buying the living shit out of it, and then trading.
They would be doing unboxing videos where they actually sniff it.
It would do different after different meals, like steak night.
McDonald's Bender.
Big Mac, and chocolate shake.
Big Mac colon attack.
Yeah, like those stupid NFT cards those guys trade online and buy for actual money.
Oh,
you pay
my
actual
God.
money for this. But yes, presidential campaign rallies like this is.
It's scary, actually.
If one of your relatives acted like this at home, you'd be like, "Pop, you gotta go. you gotta get some help."
I will drive you to and from the clinic. I will get you medicine. I will pay for it myself.
Yeah, and I think the pressure is finally getting to him, especially with the latest news that they are going to be, Jack Smith will be interviewing employees at Mar-a-Lago because Donald Trump doesn't treat employees like real people. He doesn't see them as real people. They just walk by, they ignore them.
They're the help.
These people probably saw and heard a lot. So he posts. I only got part of this because it's so long.
Well, you know what's funny? Like to your point, though, he looks at them as so subhuman that he probably doesn't even consider that they see what's going on and that they could understand it.
This is only half of it. Okay, fake news. CNN just did a story leaked by deranged prosecutor Jack Smith. I love reading these, and there's a massive team of radical left lunatics that the various people saw papers and boxes at Mar-a-Lago. Of course they did.
He's admitting to it. He's literally admitting to it. Just keep reading.
I can't, man. It's so dumb.
I'll do it. I'll do it. All right, good. They may have seen the boxes, etc., that were openly and plainly brought from the White House, as is my right under the Presidential Records Act, which, by the way, it is not his right under the Presidential Records Act.
No, let's talk about that for a second.
I even supplied, upon request, security tapes to these election interfering thugs. Yes, because you were subpoenaed to give them to him. Okay. Oh, my God.
And just so everybody knows, because obviously the Presidential Records Act says the opposite.
The Presidential Records Act says, in essence, and I'm not sugarcoating it for an agenda, I'm just because I don't feel like looking up the actual verbiage at this moment. It literally says that everything the president does, every communique, every record, every note, every scribble, every doodle it belongs to the American people as part of a historical record and should be kept in the National Archive. The presidency does not belong to the president. It belongs to the American people. The government does not belong to the president. It belongs to the American people. And the Presidential Records Act says everything the president does and says and thinks and writes belongs to the American people. And he's like,
exactly.
I took it.
And it does also say that if you want to take out personal items, you have to have submission in writing from the archives. Right.
Yeah, fine. Do it.
the moment that you leave office, you automatically have to turn everything over. You no longer have legal possession of those items. So I don't know where I hope this is the defense he uses in court.
Oh, it will
That's
be.
Gonna be hilarious.
Let me tell you, the Republican Supreme Court is not going to side on him with that, because that would destroy everything. And even though they're not exactly trying to stop this country from being destroyed, I don't think they want to be the ones that are like, yeah, the president can steal whatever he wants.
Right, exactly. So it doesn't make sense. This is crazy. And I think that's enough for today. I'm getting tired of talking about this. But
well, you know what? I want to add one quick thing, because I'll wrap it around to the debate. It's not like anyone at the debate talked about this. So no matter what the debates they think they're serving or who they think they're talking to, trying to get votes, if they all actually put up a unified front and used the facts of what is going on with Donald Trump, that might actually sway something, maybe. But instead, they go on there during the debate for what? I don't know. And they don't even talk about policy, because they have none. So they talk about what you shouldn't do as an American citizen, what rights you shouldn't have as an American citizen. And then they ignore the one thing that might win one of them a chance, and don't call out the blatant criminality and justice that is fightingly being accountable to Donald Trump for all of his crimes. They just let it slide. No one mentioned it. So that's what your debate was. A loud and a quiet support for Donald Trump. That's what your debate was.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. And my dog's starting to bark, so it's time to go.
All right.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow, 2 p.m., where we have our weekly 1-hour episode, review some of the hottest topics of the week. We do have a special guest as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So please tune in. Then I'll actually post the link for that here not too long after we get off of this show. So thank you. Please like and subscribe. And as always, we will talk to you soon.